Have you ever had a loved one suffer through a painful disease or injury that led to death? Well, I have, and it's depressing. Do you know what euthanasia is? Euthanasia is when your doctor puts you down like a cat or a dog. Euthanasia is assisted suicide. People have argued over that assisted suicide is wrong, but is it really? Personally, I believe that euthanasia should be able to be legal because people should not have to die and lose their dignity before they're dead. Patients shouldn't have to suffer and turn pale for months or even years at a time before they pass. Your body is your choice, and I've heard that before. You can do whatever you want with your body. Like they say, my body, my choice. Usually people talk about this referring to abortion, but I'm referring to terminally ill patients. If suicide is not a crime, euthanasia shouldn't be a crime either. See, if suicide was a crime, then they would be punished, right? But they can't be punished. But terminally ill patients are being punished every day by sitting in the hospital waiting for the Grim Reaper to get them. I feel like it violates the rights to all terminally ill patients who wish to be euthanized. The wait for death can be stressful and excruciating. It would be immoral to allow someone to continue living in suffering and in pain. Euthanasia should be illegal due to religious beliefs. There are many different types of religions. Christians, Catholics, Baptists. All these religions kind of sort of believe that life is given by God and only God should decide when it is taken from you. Their beliefs are all similar but kind of slightly different. See, Christians believe that life is a gift from God and that you're supposed to work yourself and be sinful and live purely in the light of God. And Catholics believe that there should be no killing of any kind of the human because life is just so precious. And Baptists believe that assisted suicide violates the sanctity of human life. Now, if you're looking at euthanasia from a legal position, legally, in most countries, it's not legal, but even doctors sometimes perform euthanization when it is illegal. And these doctors can only get put to jail for 14 years if they're found guilty. But when they're found guilty, the judge usually just considers that the patient was already basically dead. So that makes them not guilty. And then they're free, and they don't even have to serve any punishment. Back in 2007, there was a survey that said that 80% of the people favored euthanasia. And personally, I believe that euthanasia should be legal. Patients should have the right to die and not lose their dignity before death. Survey also said that 45% of the people would like euthanization for people who don't even have an illness or a disease. And I don't think that this should be allowed because young people still have a purpose in life and their purpose is something and they should be driven towards life and continue to get through it, even though it can be hard sometimes. The survey also said that relatives and spouses should not be allowed to sign the right for any euthanization right. They should not be involved at all. Because sometimes family members can hold grudges, and their spouses, well, if you're old, then they might want your money. Now, looking at it, if you are a terminally ill patient, you feel like you have lost your dignity and your identity when you're sitting in the bed waiting to die and just sitting there rotting away, turning pale before death. You've lost your dignity. And so some patients argue that they don't want to be alive anymore because they don't want to be a burden. Some patients have contemplated suicide, but terminally ill patients who have voted against euthanasia believe that God is given to you by Him and that you should keep it and sanctify it because it's precious, because He gave it to you. And so they believe that euthanization is wrong also. I believe that patients should be euthanized if they feel like they want to be. And that is why euthanasia is the option for America.